Hey everybody, how are you doing? Hope you're doing great. I am going to do a video for you for the 427 to 5-1 worksheet. I'm going to do these problems 1, 5, 9, 15, 23, and 27 because I feel like it's kind of one of different types to help you get going on the others. Okay, number 1 is review. We've been doing this for a while, but since it's been a little bit, I thought I would do one of these. Okay, so I have 3 in parentheses 1 minus 4n equals negative 93. You guys make sure to show your work on these problems, otherwise you will not get credit because I'm putting the answers up for this worksheet for this week to help you. So make sure that you show your work underneath each one of the problems or on a separate sheet of paper. Okay, so when you have a problem with distributive property, most of the time you want to do that first. That's the case here. So I'm going to make my little distributive property picture. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times negative 4n is minus 12n equals negative 93. Okay, I want to get n by itself, so I'm kind of doing backwards PEMDAS. I'm going to start by undoing this 3. This 3 is positive, so I'm going to undo it with minus 3 on both sides. And combining that together to make negative 96, and then I'm going to divide by negative 12 on both sides, and I have n equals 8. Okay, so I'm hoping that this will help you guys out, especially when we get to number 15. Okay, so for number 5, this should hopefully look kind of familiar. For number 5, x plus y equals 2. Okay, notice the problem does not say solve. You really can't solve this problem because it has 2 different variables in it. It has x and y. So you can't solve it. You can't get a number like n equals 8. I want you guys to notice that x and y could be 2 and 0, or 1 and 1, or 4 and negative 2. There's an infinite number of possibilities that x and y could be, so we really can't solve it. That's not what the directions are anyway. Write the slope-intercept form of the equation of each line. Okay. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Okay, so what this is asking you to do is take y, make sure that y is in the front, then have the x term, the term with the x on it after the equals, plus b, which is a constant or just a number. Okay, this problem is asking you not to solve, but to rearrange it so it's y in front equals something x plus a number. And sometimes that number is 0, and sometimes m is not there, but in that case it's 1. So let's talk about that in a second. Okay, I want you guys to look at the order here. I have the x in front, but what I want is the y in front. So I am going to minus x from both sides. Okay, what that does is it gives me y equals just like this. Y is the only thing left on the left side, equals, and now I have 2 minus x. Okay, there are a couple things I want to say here. First of all, those 2 things are unlike terms. They do not go together, they cannot be combined. And really, you know, in this form, that's okay because look, I want something with an x here, and then I want a b, which is a constant or just a number. So I'm suggesting that you take whatever has the x on it here, put that in front, and then add 2. So negative x plus 2. Okay, now this should look like something we've worked with in the past. I have a slope of -1 and a starting point of 2. Okay, let's practice this again with number 9. And you guys will start to see that these kind of have a pattern. 7x plus 2y equals 2. Okay, so I've lined it up right underneath number 5 on purpose so you can see what we did. First thing we did was minus the x. So on this one, I'm going to minus the 7x. I want to move that to the right side of the equals. 2y equals -7x plus 2. So same thing as this, I took the x thing and put it in front, and I took the constant and put it in back, just like this. The x is in front, the constant's in the back. -7x in the front, the constant of 2 in the back. Okay, now this one's not quite done though. Notice slope-intercept form says that that it's just y and I have 2y. So if something's multiplied by 2, how do I undo that? Divide by 2. And when I divide by 2 on both sides, I need to divide by 2 on everything. So that cancels. I have y equals -7x over 2 plus, and then what's 2 divided by 2? 1. So now it looks like slope-intercept form. My slope is -7 over 2, so I go down 7, right 2 boxes, and a starting point of 1. I actually like to write it like this, where the x is to the side of the fraction, but either of these are okay. Okay, now moving on to number 15. 15 looks a little bit different. This is called point slope form, and I don't think you guys get to that until math 3. Maybe math 2. Okay. So this looks kind of like a jumbled mess. The directions are the same though. It's saying rearrange your stuff until it looks like y equals mx plus b. Okay, so that means I'm going to want the y in front, the x, and then a constant. Notice this has distributive properties. So just like number 1, the first thing I want to do is distribute. So I have y plus 5 equals -3x plus 6. Remember, you have -3 and -2 here, so that's negative is a positive. Okay, I'm really close on this one. It almost looks like y equals mx plus b already. The only thing is I don't have y, I have y plus 5. So I need to undo that 5, and I want you to be very careful and notice, where did I take 5 away? I took it here to get to get y by itself, and then I put it here because it combines with the 6 because they're both constant. Okay, plus 1. And that's it. It's done. It's y equals -3x plus 1. Y equals mx plus b form. I have a starting point of 1 and a slope of -3. Hopefully you're starting to feel a little bit better about these. Okay, 23. Now I picked 23 because this one's just weird. At the end, I threw in some problems that were kind of all over the place, where the letters were kind of everywhere. Okay, what I want you to notice is that my constant is on the right side of the equals, my y term is on the right side of the equals, and my x term is on the right side of the equals. And what I want is the y to be on the other side. So I'm going to add 2y to both sides. Okay. It already looks a little better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip these two around so that I have the x term in the front and the constant in the back. So 2y equals negative 7x plus 10. Okay, making sure that this negative 7x keeps its negative and this 10 is positive, so it keeps its positive. Okay, now I don't have y, I have 2y, so I need to divide everything by 2. Y equals negative 7 over 2x plus 5. Done. So there's my slope, negative 7 over 2, so I go down 7, right 2 boxes, and then there's my starting point of 5. Okay, last problem is 27. I'm going to put it here to fit it on the page. And this one says sketch the graph of each line. So what I'm going to do is take what I've learned in the previous problems, I'm going to rewrite it into y equals mx plus b form, and then graph. Okay, so this one isn't too bad. It looks like the x is the only thing that's on the wrong side, so it looks kind of like number 5. I'm going to minus x from both sides. Y equals, okay, and then I'm going to put the x thing in front and then the constant. Okay, what is this telling me? I have a slope of negative 1 and a y-intercept of 0, negative 3. Okay, how do we graph that? Hopefully you guys remember. Okay, so we're going to start by going down 3. So this is down 3 here. And then you have a slope of negative 1. And remember, when it's a constant, we put it over 1. And this will be down 1, right 1. And then what we do is we backtrack to cover the graph. And then graph our line. Okay, so here are 6 problems from your worksheet. Please email if you need any help with the others or getting going, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks, bye.